making the tough part of the lane to play, he'll throw it right through that with that shiny ball and right at the 610. You see the ball, that was a replay of his strike ball, and here's Mark live cross lane, a lot of ball speed.
The $150,000 Budweiser Classic will continue right after these messages.
For tournaments this fall already.
Presents Holyfield versus Foreman, April 19th at Trump Plaza.
Let's party.
The Undisputed Heavyweight Championship, brought to you by the Undisputed King of Beers.
On the surface, it's a perfect neighborhood. People care. They maintain their homes, their cars. But beneath the surface, there could be trouble brewing in the septic system.
Mark Roth, my old buddy, he set a new PBA all-time money record this week by winning $2,800 and went by the old man here.
Yes, he did.
Ernie Schlegel, the PBA Prez, back in action, and this is one of his best finishes in a long time. Wayne Webb has been struggling this year. It's nice to see Wayne Webb bowling good again, and Mike Edwards of Tulsa, he's a good friend of all of us, Jay, great bowler. And the man that just missed the telecast, Paul Renteria, finishes 6th from Tucson, Arizona for $4,500. Good week for Paul again.
He missed by less than 50 pins. Here's Leroy Barnhop. On the TV pair, he averaged 234 this week.
Up by 24, 7th frame, on a strike. Chance to increase his lead here.
And a win today would qualify him for this year's Firestone Tournament of Champions, of course.
Yeah, he finally got me, Jay. There he is. Marshall's going to be right back. You know, people are asking me, might I come back and try to take that money lead back away from Mark? No.
You're going to bowl in the seniors?
I might. I might. I'm not old enough yet. That's a long ways away, Jay.
I see. Okay. Barnhop up by 34. Bowling in the 8th frame. Second match of the afternoon.
A strike here would just about put Mark Williams away. Gotta hurry.
Frank DeFord of NBC Sports and Sports Illustrated, one of the distinguished members of the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th estates. He has a feature tomorrow on NFL Live about baseball and the baseballers from America playing in Japan. I think it'll be of interest to those of you who can tune in.
All right, for the spare. They don't even know for sure on an easy one-pin spare whether they're going to make it. You see the look in his eye there? He wasn't sure if the ball was going to hook or not. He covered it.
Mark Williams is down 33.
The most Mark Williams can shoot right now, Jay, if he goes all the way, strikes through the 10th frame, is 214. Leroy Barnhop is bowling at a 217 pace, so it's still a possibility, but Mark needs them all.
Well, he's started, and let's see if he can continue it.
This is the key strike here. Now, this is Mark Williams' 9th frame. If he gets this one, he's still in the match. If he doesn't, Leroy Barnhop basically only needs one mark in the next 2 frames to be a winner.
Mark won his first title in the '84 Waukegan Open, and he was the 3rd seed at that time.
Got to have it.
Oh.
And the 4-pin again. Good shot. Mark's not very happy, but he did bowl extremely well this day.
You saw his dad adding up the numbers there.
See him right over that first arrow. Ball went a little high. Covers the spare. Leroy Barnhop is at the point now where all he needs is one mark, one spare or strike in the next 2 frames, and he's a winner.
The 4th place prize, $6,500. Chris Warren took down $5,500, finishing 5th.
Well, there was some noise behind him there, Jay, and you can see the look on his face that disturbed his concentration. That seemed to happen right in the middle of his approach. We'll watch it again. Now watch him right here. He'll actually rear up a little bit at the line when he hears that. See that? He heard that noise, and look at the look on his face. He knows he's in trouble when he released that ball. He knew it wasn't going to get back to the head pin. He left the washout, the 1-2-4-10.
Monticelli and Husted waiting in the wings, the top 2 qualifiers.
Now remember, he needs a mark either here or in the 10th frame to be a winner, and it's not that easy today. Great
well,
shot.
it is now.
Wow, what a shot.
Whoa, boy.
Now we have a winner now, Jay. What a great shot. We're going to show you that one again, folks. Now watch the ball cross over the head pin. This is how you pick up the washout. You can't do it better than this. Watch the head pin go into the 10. Absolutely perfect, and the ball takes out the 2-4. What a great shot under pressure. He knew he needed 2 marks or 1 mark in these last 2 frames, and he made it the hard way.
And he's the winner. He struggled a little bit, but
well, he didn't do it the easy way,
no.
Jay. Let's put it that way. But he did win. He kept the ball in the lane in the 10th. That's all he had to do. As you see that first ball again by Leroy in the 10th frame. The shot before, he left the washout. He comes over to the other lane. The ball goes to the middle of the head pin. It is a difficult lane condition, but it's a professional condition. That's what makes it great for the players. They have to make good shots. They know that. They know it's fair.
Well, he got the 1-2-4-10 in the 9th, the 3-6-10 here, and very good spare shooting for Bornhop under pressure.
That's the key. It's been the key all week, Jay. You got to make the spares, and that's that's what should be of prime importance in this game. The strikes will come, but you've got to make your spares.
Williams finishing 4th here. Bornhop finishing it out.
There we go. All right. 7-10 in the pocket. That's a wall shot, and he didn't get the action, but it doesn't matter. He's a winner with a 208 score right now, Jay. Looking good. 208 good score today.
Chuck Pierce reminds me that Mark Williams is the defending champion at the Touring Players Championship in Taylor, Michigan next Saturday. We'll be there, and hope you'll join us here on NBC. Remember also that Skins is coming up. Trevino, Palmer, Zeller, Nicholas.
Zeller's in 2 years almost made a career earnings in that tournament.
He loves that event, you know.
Unbelievable. So we watch Mark Williams finish out here.
How'd you
Best
like
he can shoot is 184.
Tee up with those guys for that kind of money?
I don't think so. I wouldn't. I'd like to play golf with them, but I wouldn't want to tee up.
Not for cash. Bornhop, 208. Williams, 184. It'll be Bornhop against Husted when we come back. Jay Randolph and Earl Anthony with you. Match 3, Dave Husted qualified 2nd with a 215.9.
This is the guy to beat today right here. In my opinion, he is the one that's making the best shots. Let's see how he plays. And there I open my big mouth again, Jay, and he starts right out with one of the toughest spares in the game, the 1-2-4-6-10. Now there are 2 ways to cover this spare. He can play it like a washout and try to cross or convert the ball over to the other side of the head pin as you see a replay of the shot. Way down the lane, ball breaking very late behind the head pin. He can try to convert it like a washout and cross the ball over, which looks like what he's trying to do. Doesn't get there. Or he could have tried to hit the pocket and let the ball deflect into the 6-10. I think you're going to see Dave Husted, a very, very experienced player for a young man. He started out here, Jay, at about 18 years old, and he's 27 now. He's been out here for 9 years. I think you're going to see Dave Husted make a big move on the lane, get away from that outside shot and move toward the middle of the lane and probably loft the ball well out on the lane. I think that's where the shot is going to be if he's going to win this tournament.
10-pin is standing for Bornhop, strictly a regional player for 3 years before coming out on tour full-time in '84.
You see that big spin again, Jay, and watch the ball break very sharply on the back. Doesn't quite get back to the pocket as well as he'd liked it to. Cross lane for the 10-pin. Now he'll kill this shot. In other words, he won't let it hook. You see he's put his hand on the side of the ball, and he'll throw it directly at it. Just like that. Makes it look easy.
Low angle look at the strength of the release of Leroy Bornhop.
Now watch his thumb. He'll keep his thumb down to make the ball go straight. He won't lift up on the ball. You see how he just kind of killed it? Look at his hand open up at the release. That's a good demonstration of how to keep the ball from hooking when you're going cross lane at the corner pins. Again, spares are very important this week. The guys that are on this telecast are the guys that made their spares. got a good break there, Jay. That ball was very light on the head pin, left only the 2-4. He could have had the bucket, a very difficult spare. Comes out with a very easy spare. As you watch the release of Leroy Bornhop, he's trying to keep the ball from hooking early, and he doesn't want that big split. It's almost like he's playing safe. Trying to keep the ball out of the rough, keep it in the fairway, Jay.
A little English there. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Ooh, look at that sigh of relief as he comes back and gets ready to sit down and take a break and see what Dave Husted can do. Now, let's see if Dave stays with that outside line or if he makes any kind of a move here. Looks like he's going to stay outside or out near the channel.
Husted, 6'2", 165 from Milwaukee, Oregon.
I think he's got to get away from there, Jay.
Yeah.
He's going to lose this match really in the first 3 or 4 shots if he doesn't make a move. Dave Husted is the strongest player of the 5 physically. He's the only one of the 5. Now, you see the shot again, way out near the channel, lofting the ball out in the lane, and it doesn't get back. It doesn't hook hard enough on the back end to get back to the pocket. Difficult spare, the 2-4-10. He's got to slide the 2-pin across into the 10. Great shot, and he made it. What a great shot.
Wonderful.
Now, again, I keep saying this, but it's very important that Dave Husted make a move. He is the only one of the 5 that's strong enough to play the inside shot here. He's got to get in around that 3rd arrow, somewhere in that vicinity, and loft the ball well out on the lane, out over the first part, the head area, and he'll be able to keep it in play.
He has career earnings of better than $538,000, 5 PBA titles.
He's still on that outside angle. Let's see if he can do a little better than the last. A little more hit on that one. Still didn't get there. Got a big break there, Jay, and that could have been another very tough spare. The 2-8-10 was there for a moment, leaving only the 8. Here you see the results of that shot Dave Husted just rolled on lane 51. Now you see the 2-8-10 there for a second. Only the 8-pin standing. Now, Dave is another player that's switching balls to a ball that doesn't hook as much, and he almost missed that spare.
He sure did. In '86, he had his finest year as a pro, earned better than $108,000. Husted and Bornhop.
Watch the big spin. See that big spin there? The thumb goes down, spin the ball, keep it in line. Doesn't get the pin action he expected, but that's because the ball was spinning. It never did really grip the lane. The ball has to go into a roll. It can't be spinning when it hits the pins. If it's spinning when it hits the pins, it'll deflect. As you see a repeat of that shot, a replay, the big spin. See that ball turning over sideways? Comes in, and watch the 5-pin. It should take out the 7, but it isn't hit hard enough to get over there. It lays right in front of it.
Has a lead of 10. We do not have a strike in this match yet.
We might be a while before we get one. I still feel that Dave Husted, the experienced player he is going to make a big move here shortly.
Skins coming up next. Action aplenty. Cash aplenty. Pin for Bornhop, had 5 strikes in his last match.
The replay again, the big spin on the ball, really not lifting up on the ball so much as turning it or rotating it so it spins down the lane. A little bit late behind the head pin, leaving the 10 only. The players haven't had much trouble with the 10 pin this week as far as making the spare.
And he's got it. We'll be back with more from Columbus, Ohio. And Earl, he made the adjustment inside.
Not much of a one. I think he still has farther to go, Jay. He did move about 5 boards left with his target and his feet. He's trying to throw it between the 1st and 2nd arrow as opposed to outside the 1st arrow. Oh, that too wide. No chance. He's got to make that move, and I'm surprised he hasn't done it yet. Very difficult spare here, Jay. The 2, 4, 8, 10. As you see a replay of the shot, it's the ball way out near the channel. Doesn't make the turn back. It won't come back out there. There's too much oil. The ball isn't getting any traction out near the channel. Now he's going to try to convert this spare by hitting the 2-pin on the left and sliding it into the 10. Chance, almost. Tough spare. Watch how close this comes to making. Now, if he hits this 2-pin, it'll take out the 10, but he just misses the 2-pin. That's the front pin. The ball takes out the 4 and the 8. Very frustrated Dave Husted at this point.
Bornhop is up by 23 and strikes in the 5th. Bornhop, quite a baseball player at St. Charles High School. He was a catcher. There's the prize money. It'll be passed out here today. $27,000 first prize.
That'll buy a lot of Budweiser, huh?
You betcha.
.23-pin lead at this point for Leroy Bornhop. On a strike. 6th frame. Oops, he lost that one off his hand. You hear that bump out there? That ball fell off his thumb just as he was getting ready to spin it, and it fell off his hand. He lost it completely, as you see him looking at his hand there.
He'd ask for a re-rack here, Earl, and he ends up leaving the 5-9.
Now watch this. See the ball come off his hand early right there? He lost it. It actually hit the foul line and bounced. And he actually got away. He got lucky there, Jay. He left a fairly easy spare. He can be in trouble with a chop here. He's got to be careful that he doesn't take the 5 off the 9. He moves to the left. Cut down the angle. Oh, close.
Well, we've seen some anxious moments today in this spare shooting here.
Every spare is a guess. All right, now watch his reaction to this spare. Now remember, it's the 5-9, and he lets go with a lot of speed. Look at him. Oh, don't hook. And he picks it up. Great cover. That was a telephone. I think it's for you, Jay. Telephone rang. Telephone rang and bothered Dave. He's being a professional. He's very experienced, set his ball down, and he jokes about it with some of the people in the background, especially Phil Russo, the manager, sitting there.
It was Trevino calling me to tell me to plug the Skins game one more time.
A lot of loft on that shot. Didn't get it back. The 2-8-10.
Well, he had adjusted there on 52 before, but this time it didn't happen for him.
I think he's completely lost, and he hasn't made the adjustment I expected him to make. You see through the ball way out on the lane, and the reason a player will do that is to keep the ball from hooking, and it didn't hook. That's the 3rd open for Dave Husted, and he's only bowled 6 frames. He's down by 34 pins at this point. The most he can bowl now is 202. Leroy Bornhop bowling a 196 game at this point.
So him go get another ball there.
All right, let's see if he does make the move I've been talking about, Jay. Not yet. He's still going to play that outside angle. I'm surprised. Come on, Dave. 3-6-10. Difficult spare. He hasn't had an easy one yet.
His high game this week, 286, and he had a 223 average on the TV pair.
Watch the ball break very sharply. He switched balls. A ball that hooks more, and it did definitely hook more. Went right through the middle of the head pin, leaving this 3-6-10. He's going to go with a lot of ball speed at this.
We'll be back with more in this match between Bornhop and Husted. Right at week's Classic here, and next week's Touring Players Championship in Taylor, Michigan. We'll be on the air at 2 Eastern Time. Here's Bornhop in the 7th, and a strike. Bornhop rolling along, leading by 34, and Husted in deep trouble.
And he's picked up another ball. This is the 3rd ball he's used in this match. Let's see what he does with this one. Now, each time he changes balls, there's a specific reason. The ball either hooks more, it hooks less, whatever. Whatever Dave feels he needs at this point. That's not it. That's definitely not it. I think, again, here he leaves the 1-2-8-10. I think Dave has to make the move to the inside of the lane. He's lofting the ball way out on the lane. As you see that, that ball's actually going in the air 8 or 10 feet before it touches the lane.
With these oily conditions this week and the lanes being a real challenge, I suppose sometimes maybe you can overdo. I mean, get to the point where you
can
trying everything and nothing works.
You can, and it's that point of almost analysis, paralysis by analysis, they might say.
That's right.
There, Dave gets a big break. He's still, as you can see, not very happy. He's completely lost in this match. And during practice before the telecast, Dave was playing very well inside around the third arrow, and I'm surprised he didn't make that move. He must have felt that he couldn't get the reaction he wanted there, so he stayed with the outside shot.
Bornhop with a strike in the 7th, bowling on lane 52 in the 8th. And you see he came up a little short.
A little short, and he gets another break, leaving only the 5 and the 8. Easy spare for Leroy Bornhop. He just throw a strike ball at this.
Coming up, we'll have, of course, an NBC feature, the uninterrupted coverage of the championship match for the $27,000 first prize. And Amuleto Monticelli in the #1 spot, the Italian by way of Venezuela.
Who won his only win in Japan.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, look at the, gee whiz, did that ball get out of control down there?
That one, he hit it up into the wind, and it got it carried away and went in the woods, I think, Jay.
Goodness.
Watch this now. I think right now he knows he has the match won. He's trying to find something different to get a different reaction, because
well,
he knows that Monticelli
look at it.
is going to be tough to beat. The ball gets away from him and completely misses the head pin. He had one earlier where he almost missed the head pin the same way. This is a tough spare right here on this lane condition. But he does have the match well enough, even with the open.
I wonder what Monticelli's thinking right now. You know, he has only one match, but watching this match, I see him down here looking at a television set. He's got to be a little confused.
I'm sure. He's wondering if the lanes have changed that much. Now, as you see Dave Husted, his ball got completely away from him, and he missed the head pin to the left. You're going to see that Monticelli, when he comes over for that championship match, he's going to be playing different as far as his ball angle on the lane is completely different from anybody that's bowled yet today. He will be on that inside lane, inside angle, and the reason is he feels he'll get a better ball reaction somewhere inside, arcing the ball.
Well, Bornhop's got to feel rather lucky. He wins at 179 to 135, and it'll be Bornhop against Monticelli when we come back. Championship match in this $150,000 Budweiser Classic for $27,000. Bornhop against Monticelli. Bornhop will begin things, our uninterrupted coverage of this championship match, and we're set to go. And a good start from Leroy Bornhop.
Leroy, you're right. Very light on the head pin. Hit him thin and watch him spin. And they really had him dancing, Jay. They all went down. Last one to go, the 7 pin. All right, now watch. You saw Leroy Bornhop bowl the last match. You saw his first shot of this match. He's spinning the ball, going very direct with a sharp break at the back end near the head pin. Watch Monticelli. Watch the arc on this ball. He's going to arc it out way near the channel and try to hook it back. Big back end. Big arc. Too much hook.
Monticelli, just 26 years of age, looks younger than that. 5'8", 150 pounds, leaves the 6'10".
Now watch this. Now he didn't like this shot. He actually didn't roll this ball the way he wanted to. He didn't get it out to his target. He got it inside his target, and when he missed to the left, the ball goes left. He switched balls to the hard surface, shiny ball through a cross lane. They switch balls, folks, so that they can control the ball more in those spares. And remember, you don't have to roll it good. All you got to do is hit it, Jay.
He came in here with a lot of confidence this week. Last week, with a week off for the fall tour, he went home to Venezuela and worked to correct a flaw in his delivery. He wanted to stay down more. 18th career championship round appearance.
And yet to be a winner. This could be his day. He has won, but it was in Japan, and that was an invitational, not a full field. 16 Americans, 16 Japanese. Big arc. Doesn't get it back. Again, now that is almost exactly the reaction that Dave Husted was getting when he was arcing the ball out like this. As you can see, he throws it almost over the second arrow, but watch it go clear out to the channel. Almost in the channel, hooks back way too late. Doesn't really get the grip on the back end that he wants to get the ball back to the head pin. The 2-4-10. Try to get the 2 to slide into the 10 pin. There's where the bowlers have been fooled all week. The middle of the lane is hooking more than the outer edges. The players have to play where the oil is, and that's on the outside of the lane. When they shoot their spares down the middle, as you see, watch the ball grip the lane and hook way too much. Even though that's his harder shell ball and it's smooth and doesn't hook much, it still gripped the lane a lot, and he missed the spare. Leroy Bornhop getting a re-rack here. Chance to really take a commanding early lead. He's on a strike. Second frame.
A lot of pressure on both of these fellas. $27,000 the first prize.
All right, now Leroy, he's a little confused. He didn't like the way he released that ball, and it's coming off. Watch it. Here's a replay. Watch the ball come off his hand too soon. He gets it down the lane, and he doesn't get any lift on the ball. It's all spin. It never really grips the lane. Watch it slide right by the head pin. And this is not an easy spare. On this lane surface, here's you see another angle of that replay. The ball came off real early, didn't get any lift. Now watch this. This is the 2-5. He has to hit them both with the ball. Ooh, got lucky, Jay. Got lucky. You can see the look on his face.
Yeah, he's happy to be out of there.
Yeah. They really don't know what the ball is going to do on the spares on the left side of the lane. They throw it to that area and hope they get lucky. They're really tough.
Bornhoff, his wife Cindy, and daughter Tara. I mentioned he's from St. Charles, a St. Louis suburb.
You're not partial to that area, are you?
Yeah, it's a growing area, that St. Charles County area, across the bridge.
All right, in the third frame. What a big break.
Oh, my. He will take that one and say thank you very much.
You betcha.
If Monticelli wins today, he will become the 7th touring player this year to win 2 titles. The other one, as we've mentioned, of course, in Japan.
Here's a replay of Leroy Bornhop's ball. Watch it break very sharply. Remember that in the frame previously, the ball never did grip the lane, slid by the head pin. This one, it gripped too soon and crossed over. Now Monticelli, third frame. Way out by the channel. Doesn't get back again. The same result, the 2-4-10.
Earl, I know the folks at home have got to be wondering now. He's been standing here watching this action all afternoon and warming up, and they've got to wonder why in the world he hasn't been able to make the adjustment.
Again, we've discussed the lane condition. It's a very difficult condition. It's a professional lane condition, and the players that are on the telecast have been the ones that have made their spares. Not so many strikes, but make all their spares. Now here's a tough spare. Very tough spare. The 2-4-10. He doesn't convert. The middle of the lane is drier than the outside edges. I mentioned that earlier. From the second arrow, which is the 10th board on the lane, to the channel is lots of oil. From the second arrow in, the ball grips very much. There's a lot of friction there. And that's caused by wear and tear. The ball's rolling down the lane. And no matter what the lane man does to this, as far as putting oil on him, you cannot put enough oil in the middle of that lane. As you can see the rough boards there, you can't put enough oil in the middle of the lane to make the ball skid. The oil just gets absorbed down into the wood.
Same problem.
Same problem. He tried a different release. Didn't work for him. He tried to actually hook the ball more, switch balls. Nothing seems to be working for Monticelli any more than it did for Dave Husted. On this surface, you have 2 choices. You can move into the middle of the lane and know it's going to hook and play that hook, or you can do what Leroy Bornhop is doing, and he's playing in the outside line and going right at him.
What would you do?
If it were me, I'd move to the middle of the lane. I would play the inside angle and try to keep the ball from hooking. I know it's going to hook in there, so I know it's going to do the same thing every time. So that's why I look for consistency and ball reaction, which you're not getting outside the second arrow.
Amleto very disgusted after not being able to pick up this spare.
And he's the crowd favorite here, Jay. Everybody that knows Amleto likes him. He's a great guy. They want to see him become a champion.
Bornhop had a strike in the third.
He's been very lucky at this point, Jay. He's bowled extremely well. Lane condition, as we say, time after time is very difficult, but he has got some good breaks. He hasn't had any difficult spares. He let one ball get away completely, the crossover Brooklyn, and for the strike in the third frame. That one didn't get back to the head pin. He leaves only the 2-pin, an easy spare. We'll watch him concentrate. Look out. Ooh. You see Leroy Bornhop shaking his head there. It's a guessing game on those spares.
37-pin lead for Bornhop. Pete Weber finishing 34th for $1,165. Established the second best single year earning mark in PBA history this year with 175,000 plus. Mike Albee holds the record. 201,200 set in '85. Boy.
Wait a minute. Watch this. Oh, almost. All right, the 4-7-10. Leroy got high in the head pin, as you'll see a replay of that shot. Now he's really trying to force the ball to stay on line by spinning it. And that's really hard, again, to control the break point, where the ball is going to grip the lane. Your speed control has to be perfect. That one it hooked early, the 4-7-10. Very tough spare.
Earl, this tournament took the lowest average this year to earn a paycheck. 53rd place being 3,597 pins, a 199.8 average. The average to make the top 24 was also the lowest this year. So it's been a struggle for everybody here. Now Monticelli trying to get back into business.
He keeps trying to hook it more. He's doing. He's trying to make the adjustment and make that ball come back to the pocket, but it's not going to do it out there. There's just too much oil out near the edge of the lane. He's gone to a ball that really hooks a lot more for him. He's trying to. You can see how he's lifting very hard up on the ball to get it to hook more. And look at it, not getting any traction until it's too far down the lane. Leaves a 2-8-10, an almost impossible spare. A lot of speed right at it. I hope he's trying to make that pin bounce.
Well,
almost.
It did, but didn't quite get back. Monticelli will become the 7th player this year to break the $100,000 barrier. He is down 34. Now, he had a 299 in round 5 this week, 7th game of round 5. And that was the high game of the regular play. We had 300 games by Walter Ray Williams Jr. and Joe Firpo, but they were bowled in special pro-ams.
Strike, but then still I don't think he's very happy with the ball reaction. You can see he's still he put his hands out and almost and watch his reaction here. Watch him throw his hands out like I don't know what happened. You know, he's still lost. He's going to have to make some kind of an adjustment. Again, I think they need to get to the middle of the lane and play where they know it's going to do the same thing every time. That's hook.
Well, that looked to be a better line for Bornhop, but he's left the 2-8.
Now he's moved out way near the channel. Now watch where he lays this ball down. It's right on about the second board near the edge of the lane. Almost goes in the channel. See that? Right on the edge. But there's so much oil out there, Jay, it doesn't grip the lane enough to get back. It leaves the 2-8, and this is a tough spare. And Leroy isn't really sure how he wants to play it. That's why he's standing there thinking about it. The ball, if he goes down the middle of the lane, could hook in front of the 2-pin, leaving the 8. If he gives it too much room, it may not get back. Tough spare. Oh, what a great shot. What a great shot.
And he's very happy. Monticelli's low game this week was 156, and in round one. He's looking up there. He's going at about 152 pace at the moment. I mean, this is tough going.
It's tough going, but he's so explosive. He's capable of striking out the rest of the game, even though the lane condition is very difficult. He is an experienced player. He may not be a champion yet as far as winning on the tour in the States, but he's been around a while. He knows how to make good adjustments. I still feel that he's dangerous at this point. He could still shoot 200. And Bornhop's opening the door. He's going backwards. He's going to come back and meet Amleto Monticelli very shortly if he keeps this up. You see a replay of that shot. Now, remember on the other lane, he was out near the edge of the channel. This one, he's between the first and second arrow, hits that oil at the other end, doesn't finish. The reason that ball didn't finish is the oil is being carried down there by all the balls rolling down the outside of the lane. It's getting down near in front of the head pin, and it just won't let the ball grip the lane. They have to move in, Jay. They must move into the center of the lane. Watch this ball hook.
Came close, but didn't get it.
Well, it's anybody's match. Got one player shooting 150, got the other one shooting 170.
And we look at this again, the pressure of the problems with the lanes and
See the ball in the middle of the lane there, Jay? It grips. As soon as it gets to the middle lane, it grips. Takes off and hooks very sharply to the left.
Well, the lane pressure and, of course, the pressure on both of these men. Neither one of them have ever won a PBA event in the Western Hemisphere. And here is Monticelli.
Something bothered him. It just didn't feel right on his hand, I think, Jay. And he's going to take another thought here. I think he's still so confused. He doesn't even really want to throw this shot. And I don't blame him. The way things have been going, I wouldn't want to throw it either. He had 4 consecutive opens on a strike now in the 6th. This is his 7th frame. And he did move, Jay. He moved in a little bit. Almost got it back.
Thought he had it. He'll go over the 300,000 mark in career earnings here this afternoon in Columbus.
And watch this ball now. He's moved in a little bit more toward the center lane, still arcing it out too much out near the channel. It's not going to get back. Doesn't quite get back to the head pin. Just enough to tickle him. Going to move it around, leaving only the 8 pin.
He is down 19 pins. Amleto Monticelli, Leroy Bornhop. Oh, what a tremendous win this would be for Bornhop, or for that matter, Monticelli. And coming up next, of course, except for those of you on the West Coast, the Skins from the desert. And the crowd finally is able to feel like their man is coming on.
Well, he hasn't made any moves on the lane, Jay, and I'm surprised. He's basically in the same area. He's going right over that second arrow out near the channel. He just lifting it harder, trying to make the ball finish. And if he keeps that up, it's going to be very erratic. He's not going to be very consistent there.
With a strike.
All right, both players on strikes now in the 8th frame. This is a crucial shot for Leroy Bornhop, the 9th frame. If he gets this one, it's a double. It'll be put him up around the 180 bracket. Monticelli still going at that 152 pace with a possible 182. A lot of things can happen yet. 2 frames to ball.
The Hadler family, and the folks from Budweiser, and this big crowd watching intently in a most interesting and frustrating match.
Leroy looking off to the right, and something must have moved or bothered him a little bit. He's just taking his time. You can't blame him. A strike here could be the deciding factor in this match for his first ever win. You see Amleto Monticelli doesn't even want to watch. He's so frustrated at this point. He's bowled so well all week to lead the tournament. Couldn't throw it any better than that, Jay. It was absolutely perfect.
He didn't get it to go. The 10 is standing.
When you consider the lane condition, how difficult it is to even hit the pocket, this is a great shot under these conditions. See that pin goes right up around the neck of the 10. He thought he had a strike here, Jay. Watch his reaction. Oh, my. All right, now, every shot is crucial. The 10 pin, cross lane. He's going to kill it again like watch, see how he holds his hand on the side of the ball. Still anybody's match.
It certainly is. This uninterrupted coverage, and now Monticelli. Hope you'll join us next week, of course, for the Touring Players Championship. Taylor, Michigan. We'll be on the air at 2 Eastern Time.
All right, now this is a big shot for Monticelli. The shoe just reverses. Now Bornhoff had the big shot, left the good 10 pin. Monticelli on a strike to get within 9 pins.
He has a possible 182.
To get within 9 pins.
Amleto has got to be thrilled with that one.
Well, not only throwing strikes, but right now, this match could even be decided by someone getting an open of some sort. In other words, missing a spare or getting a split. And going into the 10th frame, Monticelli on a double. If he gets a strike here, he'll take the lead by 1 pin. We could have a tie. There are so many things that can still happen.
Monticelli trying to gather himself. He needs to strike out to win this match.
Look out. All right. It's not over. Even though he's behind by 11 pins after that shot, he has to make this spare to make Leroy Bornhoff get some kind of a mark in the 10th frame. Spare and good count. As you see the ball hooking, he's trying so hard to make the ball hook. Again, that erratic break point. The ball went high. Cross lane, a lot of ball speed, switching balls. Bornhoff anxiously watching. All right. Here's where we are. Bornhoff, with the 10th frame yet to bowl, is bowling at a 171 pace. Monticelli with a strike will have 160.
There's Bornhoff watching Monticelli just moments ago.
Yeah, he was hoping he'd miss it. You can't blame him for that. A lot of money from Budweiser on the line, and their first ever championship. Well, that's a big ball. Even though he only shoots 160, Jay, that's a big ball because the count is so important at this point. Leroy Bornhoff must get a mark. He has to have either a spare in this frame or a strike on this ball to be the winner. Now, you know from watching, anything can happen today, folks. This is no picnic, even for the best bowlers in the world.
Bornhoff looking for his first PBA title, a chance to get to the Firestone Tournament of Champions. Its biggest prize ever. It's $27,000, and here we go.
Biggest ball of his life.
Come on, Leroy.
All right, he got away. He got what he wanted, basically, Jay. He wanted the strike, obviously, but what he wanted more than anything was an easy spare, and that's what he's got. If he makes the spare and keeps the ball on the lane on the count shot, he'll be a winner. As you see a replay of that shot, watch the ball. It doesn't get back, but he made sure he didn't hit the middle of the head pin. He made a smart play there. He has to make the spare to be the winner. And they haven't been easy.
All right. The championship
Needs to keep the ball on the lane.
Bornhoff.
Still has to keep it on the lane. Don't foul. Don't throw it in the channel. Anything like that. Any kind of count. He needs 1 pin on this next shot. 1 or more to be a winner.
This is going to be one of the lowest championship games in a long time on the PBA Tour, but here it is, and he's got it.
Now, do you see that shot, Jay? He moved to the middle of the lane and threw it solid in the pocket. Now, why didn't he do that before?
Well, we'll be back and ask him when we present the first prize right after these messages. Jerry Mullane of Budweiser is here to present the trophy.
Leroy, I know this is your first one on the PBA Tour. It's got to be a thrill. For the people in Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser, congratulations.
Thank you, Jerry. It's been a pleasure.
And Mr. Hadler, along with Mr. Lewis and the other Mr. Hadler, thanks so much for a wonderful week. $27,000. It was a toughie, but you got it.
Yeah, boy. This is great.
All right. That says it, I think. It was great. And there is our champion. The PBA Fall Tour has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just alike. By Toyota Trucks, setting the standard for quality and value. By